Hi everybody, thanks for joining us for this seminar on PE Grounding for Life. We're looking to encourage positive attitudes from the early years onwards. My name is Nick Powell and I'm the Managing Director of a company called PE Partner, and we work with schools across the country helping them to make the most impact from all their PE interventions and their PE curriculum and their lesson. We work with about 18,000 children a week through our Spiral PE platform, and we work really closely, and we've got about 40 coaches on the ground helping schools every day. We're also advising lots and lots of teachers. So hope you enjoy this. We've been doing this for 12 years, so hopefully we've got some insight that we can share with you that you can take away and will help you enjoy your PE delivery. I want this to be a positive presentation. I want this to be something that you come away from with new enthusiasm, but I do think it's really important that we understand the context of why PE is really important and why we're looking at this in such detail. So in the first few slides, we're going to look at some context, and then we're going to look at our new approach for delivering PE. Okay, so here's a format that I'm sure we're all quite familiar with now. Intent, implementation, and impact, and that's the way we're going to look at this. The first thing, the intent, is why do we need to do anything? We think we need to slow down and then reverse the trend of children suffering poor physical and mental health. There is a major obesity crisis in this problem, and there are also lots of children suffering mental health issues, particularly after COVID-19, so we need to be there to help them and support them. The second question, the implementation, how are we going to do this? What are we going to do? We must give children a broad range of positive experiences which build confidence and give them the tools they need. And question 3, what do we hope to achieve by this? What's our impact going to be? A healthier population with improved social mobility and employability. That's the goal. That's what we're looking to achieve. So for context, why is this all so important? We have a national obesity crisis in the UK. Nearly a third of children between the ages of 2 and 15 are overweight or obese. Clearly a major problem. The economic costs of that for the country, if you look at the bottom of the screen that you see there, is that 5.1 billion is spent by the NHS on treating overweight and obesity related ill health. And that was in 2014-15, and I'm sure the figures will have got worse, not better, since then. So scary stuff, a harsh reality that we've all got to sit up and take notice of. We've got to recognise and do something about the fact that the number of obese children doubles during the primary school years. In 2017-18, 9.5% of reception children and 20% of Year 6 children in England were classed as obese. That's doubling during their time in primary school years. So we're clearly doing something wrong within that time, within those years. Now this isn't all on schools. This is a cross-agency framework that needs to solve this problem, and it's all about relationships with food and relationships with physical activity and positive role models. We understand that. But we have impact on those children while they are with us in their primary school years, so we need to work really hard to exert the right kind of impact and give them the right kind of messages. So how do we do that? What are we going to do about it? We must give children a broad range of positive experiences which build confidence and develop the tools they need. You'll see on this screen that we've got a baby hammer, a toy hammer, and a hammer. You wouldn't give a child the adult hammer straight away. So why would you expect them to be able to master physical skills unless you build them up? We'll start off with simple versions of the same thing, and then we'll progress them through the school life, upgrading those skills appropriately with the situations that they're going to find themselves in. So giving them context for the tools they've got so that we're arming them for adult life. One of my favourite quotes is the one at the top right, which is attributed to Albert Einstein. And it says that insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. With that in mind, we have to look at what we're doing, and we have to be prepared to make changes if we want to see radical differences in this obesity crisis and to improve children's relationship with physical activity. I think it's really important that we understand that nursery and reception classes that we work with, and this is anecdotal evidence from 12 years of working in lots and lots of different schools, those EYFS children show the most enthusiasm and the most joy for physical activity. They don't have inhibitions, they don't have body conscious issues at that age, or the majority that we've worked with don't. Those problems come later. And as we progress up through the primary years, we see that more and more children will turn around and say they hate PE. PE is not for me. And it's usually because they've had a bad experience, or they're exhibiting a lack of self-confidence that we need to help them with. So we've got to deliver PE in a way that every single child enjoys, because what we're trying to do is help them find the active thing that they'll love doing forever. You're embedding habits and introducing them to different experiences that they could find the one thing that they're going to do forever. So it could be that they're going to become a referee. It could be that they're going to organise and be part of the parkrun movement longer term. They don't have to be Olympic sports people. They don't even have to be sports people. It could be walking, it could be swimming, it could be cycling. It could be lots of social activities that incorporate physical activity that's going to give them health benefits in the long term. Let's just look at a couple of other things on this screen. There's a quote here from Steve Caldecott, who's Ofsted inspector and works for AFPE at the same time, which is the Association for PE. And he says, PE is surely the best subject to contribute to personal development in the new Ofsted framework. In the green box over here, we've got a statement which is really true. For the first time in world history, we are having to invent opportunities to be physically active. And then the blue table, something I'd really like us to think about and look at and return to after this presentation's finished, which is the concentration span of children at different ages. We spend a lot of time sedentary in schools. We spend a lot of time in classrooms not moving. And what we're trying to say to schools is, please incorporate physical activity into your learning. Take your learning objective and look at how you can incorporate physical activity into that lesson and still achieve your learning objective. You'll find quite often that it helps with engagement because of this concentration span. Okay, so on to our method of delivering these PE skills. And what we want to do is make sure that everybody in your school and in your wider school community understands that PE isn't sport. There are two very different things. Physical education should be teaching skills for life, not just sports. A love of sport is a byproduct of PE quite often, and some children will see it that way. But what we've always done traditionally is use sports as the medium to deliver the physical activities and the physical skills. So then children get wrapped up, and teachers who traditionally think they're not sporty think that PE is not for them. And we're trying to change that mentality. So this academic year, we want you to help to spread the message that PE is for skills for life, not for sports. And we're going to use different jobs to help us do that. So we're taking it away from sports as the medium, although it will still include some sports obviously, but we're going to use this job idea to show children and to show teachers that the different skill areas that we're working on in physical education are essential for a happy, healthy and successful life, whatever career you go on to do. It's reaching, lifting, balancing, it's manipulating objects, it's working together and giving feedback, timing, accuracy. Can you generate force? The skills that we are using every day as firefighters or surgeons or musicians or photographers or builders or architects. In fact, I struggle to think of any job where the skills you learn in PE aren't an asset. And we want to use that message to reframe how people think about PE this year. It's for everyone. You'll see on the screen here, we've got a firefighter on the left and a surgeon on the right. And this is the kind of imagery we're going to be using, where we're using the physical skills that we're learning in PE, agility, strength, power, dynamic balance, flexibility of movement, control, stamina, teamwork, to mention 8 of the skills, and we're applying them to the jobs. We're overlaying them to the jobs. So even if you don't think you're sporty, but you want to be a chef, we can show you that PE is going to be great for developing those skills you're going to need to be a chef, or to be a farmer, or to be a vet, or to be a surgeon or a firefighter. I'm happy to let my friend Adrian, who's a painter and decorator, demonstrate this. He's doing his job, but he needs agility and physical skills to carry the ladder. He needs coordination and cognitive skills to understand what it is he needs to do and how to do it. And he needs balance and manipulation skills to do that job safely. These are all things that we're learning in PE lessons, in physical education. The better he is at physical education, the better he is at doing his job, which is painter and decorator, as you can see. So how are we going to get that across in our lessons? Well, in PE, in our EYFS and Key Stage 1 lessons, we're going to be looking at various jobs, and we're looking at the skills they might need. We'll do this through delivering lots of fun games. In some lessons, there might be a chef mixing a cake. There'll be window cleaners. Can they stretch high up and low down? And things like games of TIG might be changed to you're a farmer and you've got to catch your sheep. We might even be able to get some dressing up fun for them. And throughout the 39-week programme, they'll develop their key fundamental movement skills of balance, agility and coordination, with the emphasis on fun through this scheme. Lots and lots of different jobs, lots and lots of different role play, lots and lots of different play. And for our Key Stage 2 pupils, we're going to incorporate some conversations and activities around jobs as well. So when we're delivering key skills, we might be then saying to them, what kind of jobs would you use these skills in? You know, what would this be helpful? What kind of job would this be helpful for? So we've worked on timing. What kind of job might that be useful for? It won't be in every lesson, and we'll still have a great mix of games and drills and some sports in there for them to have broad experiences and to try lots of different things. But this idea is there to engage children who aren't sporty or don't think they're sporty. We're trying to engage them in these are skills that will help you in later life. Very much the same as we would do in any other lesson. In fact, I think that's a key point. We don't see PE as any different from any other lesson.
Today, me and Noah are going to look at lots of different jobs and the physical skills we might need to do those jobs. Noah, are we going to start by being a builder? No, maybe we could get something on that makes us feel more like a builder. How about this? You put your arms in here, stretch, that's it, stretch, wonderful. I think it fastens up at the front as well. There you go, now you love the part. Okay, we're going to start by using some strength and we're going to dig. So using your strength, dig that side. Oh wow, you're really speedy too. Bend those knees. That's it. Bend those knees. Digging. Good boy. Don't forget how big's your hole. Should we jump into it? Ready, jump. Good. Okay, now we've got something really heavy we need to carry. So we're going to pick it up, bending our knees, using our strength, and we're going to travel with it. So we're going to walk forwards, and we might need to walk backwards as well. So can we look carefully? Can we look? That's it. Back to me. That's it. Walk forwards then. Very carefully walking forwards. Well done. And walking backwards, looking. Well done. Now we're going to try, put that heavy thing down. Ooh. Well done, bend those knees. Now we're going to use our coordination and we're going to climb a ladder. So we're going to use our arms and our legs together. Well, that's not how we climb a ladder, is it? That's too fast as well. How about you watch me first and see if you can copy? Okay, look at me then. Good boy now. Can you do arms and legs? Arms, good. You've got good coordination already, haven't you? Speed! You're climbing that ladder too fast. Arms and legs together. That's it, well done. Oh, climb back down again. Can we do it backwards? Oh, get to the bottom quickly. Well done. Can you put your ladder away? Well done. Oh, steady now. Put it down. Can you come stand back over here then? That's it, answer. Well done. Let's take this off because we stop being a builder now. If you stand there, stay there. And we're going to be an astronaut. Would you like something else? Should we put an astronaut's helmet on to make us feel more like an astronaut? Have you found it? Well done. You've got that astronaut's helmet on. Oh, well done. Now you're all hooked up. Fantastic. And what do astronauts do? Can you think of an example of what an astronaut does? Do they go walking and travelling around too?
Yeah, but they also walk slowly.
They walk slowly, so they've got to be coordinated and they've got to have a good strength as well, haven't they?
Jump so they can go even higher.
Jump! Oh, good explosive power. Can you jump really high? 1, 2, 3, jump! Well done. See if you can slowly walk back. That's it. Well done. Good boy. Hold it there, stand there. Okay, good being an astronaut. There's lots of skills of being an astronaut. Now we haven't got a fireman's outfit. We're going to pretend to be a fireman now. Okay, so we need to pull the hose, and then we need to hold the hose, and we need to put out the fire. Are you ready?
Yeah.
The hose is getting spun all the way around. You know what comes down here? That's it. So we're going to pull the hose. Pull, pull. Use those muscles in your arms. Pull, 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 pull. Have we got enough hose yet to put the fire out?
Yeah.
Okay, you ready? Pick the hose up. Bend those knees again. Pick the hose up and hold on to it tight. Get those arm muscles ready. The water's coming out. Don't get me all wet. Put out the fire. That's it, Noah.
No, there's still fire under the table.
Quick, punch it down then. So we're getting down low, we're using our balance.
Yes, all that.
Get that fire up there as well.
I want you too.
Come over here then, Noah. Good boy, let's put our hose back. Well done, good teamwork. High five. Good, shall I do it down here? Woo! 1, 2, 3, thumbs up.
Thanks to Noah and Maggie for showing us that quick little idea of what we could do in lessons and some adaptations where we can use jobs to teach children physical skills. Everything we're doing is about developing a good relationship with physical activity. It's key to embedding good habits which last a lifetime, one which will be longer and healthier as a result. It builds confidence, resilience, stamina, and it's proven to build better academic results. And if you're still in any doubt about that, on our website, which is www.pepartner.co.uk, you can find a repository of academic papers and articles with evidence to prove that physical active children perform better academically. Let's be clear, children are born active. They want to move, they want to explore and to play. In EYFS, you already know this. There's an awful lot of development through play that goes on in EYFS. And for some reason, when we get to Key Stage 1, we stop doing that. We understand how important it is to childhood development from 0 to 5, but when we get to Year 1 and on beyond, we don't recognise the value of play as much. Maybe if we did, we'd be able to achieve the bottom statement on this screen, which is that we should focus less on how to re-engage children that have lost their mojo for PE and more on how to stop them becoming disengaged in the first place. So there, really quickly, we've looked at some ideas for PE lessons that engage EYFS children. Through play, we're developing key skills, key physical activity skills that are transferable, and that's the point. In your EYFS framework, we've already got a couple of statements that this will help you achieve. Physical development involves providing opportunities for young children to be active and interactive, and to develop their coordination, control and movement. Children must also be helped to understand the importance of physical activity and to make healthy choices in relation to food. Understanding the world involves guiding children to make sense of their physical world and their community through opportunities to explore, observe and find out about other people, places, technology and the environment. Those statements are lifted directly from the Department for Education's EYFS framework, so you'll recognise those, and you should also recognise that a better relationship with PE and a better relationship with physical activity will help your children achieve those targets. When we're looking at impact, this healthier population with improved social mobility and employability skills is a really lofty ambition. And it's important that we say primary schools can't solve the obesity crisis alone, and nor should they be expected to. It's a very complicated problem. What we can control is the relationship that the children we work with have with being active. Think about it this way. For some children, their PE time might be the only time in the week they're encouraged to be active. So it's vital that they look forward to it with enthusiasm. They'll look to their role models to know how to behave. So if you're having fun and you clearly love delivering the lessons, they'll have fun and they'll get involved too. Some children need you to love it so that they can too. Tips for PE delivery, not just for EYFS, but for the whole of your primary school. We think it'd be a great idea for you to adopt the PE teaches skills for life, not just sports approach. How much you adopt it is entirely up to you. We've got free posters that we can send over to you, and all of the work we're doing is embedded into our Spiral PE curriculum, which I'm more than happy to talk to anybody about after the presentation. We're going to use a really broad range of jobs. We're going to make sure that the delivery is gender neutral, so we're not creating any barriers. We don't want any little girl growing up thinking that there are jobs they can't do because they're a little girl, and we don't want any little boys growing up, and the same, we don't want any gaps created. We don't want any barriers put in place through our language or through our approach and behaviour and delivery. Explain how the plan works to your staff team and plan your lessons to include physical activity. So whatever objective you're working on, think about how can I get physical activity into this lesson? How can we see that the children are learning the learning objective and taking on board what we're working on through movement? Engage pupils in this new approach. It's really easy for a parent to play jobs at home with their child. Measure happiness and engagement in activities. And this jobs theme that we're working on, bear in mind that this is just one medium that you could use to deliver these transferable skills. The same concept exists if you're retelling the story from Carpet Time. Why not be the characters in your favourite book? My favourite children's book is The Gruffalo, and there are lots of different animals and they all travel in very different ways. So maybe the children could all be different animals travelling in different ways. They'll all be developing their fundamental movement skills in a PE lesson that has very little to do with sport. And finally, and most importantly, just to echo what we put on the last slide, have fun. I can't stress enough how important this is to the children you'll be teaching. So I said at the start of the presentation I wanted to give you some positive messages and some things that you could take away with you from this presentation. So here we go. Here are some resources that you can grab for your schools. To get the posters, the free jobs poster, if you're going to embrace the PE Teaches Skills for Life, not just sports campaign, and get involved in that, just email me, I'll send you a poster over. You can see also that there are Spiral PE posters here which show you the 36 transferable skills that we deliver and we teach in physical education. There's also an online video with lots of our team members talking about their experiences of EYFS teaching and the joy that they get from working with the little ones and delivering PE in this way. So if you want to have a check out of that video, there's the YouTube address on there, and you'll also find on our YouTube channel, you'll find lots of free games and ideas to give you things to do in PE. Hope that helps. So that's the presentation. I really appreciate you taking the time to watch it. I hope you've got something useful out of it. If you need anything else, my information is on the screen, and I really would love to hear from you because we're here to help. Thank you very much.